No matter where the place or what the time, you're now tuned in to Smoking Strong with StrongArm. And I'm your host, StrongArm Test. Tonight I got a special guest, man, but I'm not going to tell you just yet. I'm going to bring him on in the room. Prince Ice.
Yo.
What you got going on, man?
What's up, bro? I'm home chilling.
I see that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what's good, man. So I've been waiting to get an interview like this for a minute, man. You're a legend, man. You know, I came up watching, you know what I'm saying, what you had going on. I was a young cat when you got in the game. You know what I'm saying? You was a young cat too. I think we were
I was a young cat doing it. That's what's funny.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Yeah,
so this is what I want to know, man. And for my people watching me on the live, man, because I'm recording and I'm live.
What up, people? What's good, Joe?
You know what I'm saying? We got Prince Ice on with us live, y'all. So, you know, if y'all got any questions y'all want to ask, you let me know. But let me start at the beginning, man. I like to start at the beginning. What was it? Is music something that you were just always into? Like, is this something that did you have something before this, or is this just what you always wanted to do? Like when you got into it, did you get into it because that's where your heart was at, or was this something else that didn't go right and you just worked your way over?
Oh man. Well, let me just start. My whole family was musical from childhood, man. My mom used to sing when we were kids. She used to sing in Brooklyn. And I'm from Jersey originally, but we moved to South Carolina when when her and my pops got divorced.
Right.
But she used to sing background for a lot of famous groups back in the 70s until I started having kids. So my sisters and and then when she and my dad split up, we moved to South Carolina. But I was DJing all the family events, DJing in school. Then they started me when I was 5 years old. So I started DJing at 5, rapping and playing the piano at 7. Mm-hmm. Of course, I was breakdancing then. I was skinny with a box haircut. And now, now I got this crispy bald head.
You got the Mr. Clean. You got the Mr. Clean now.
Got the Mr. Clean. You know, once it goes, let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't be like these dudes slapping that whole fro on the head to get haircut looking like they 24 and they 50.
I don't even know if I could picture you with hair, man. That would be something to see, though.
If I ever start looking like a 1990s hip hop album, something wrong. You know?
With the box.
Exactly. And the funny part is I had a box. It was like 4 inches high, about that high. Had the parts going up in it to the side.
Oh, no.
If you look at any hip hop covers, if I pull up pictures of myself, we really lived it, you know. And that was life, man. So I was brought into the game by the family. Everybody sang, played instruments, danced. Everybody did it all. And even in hip hop, we were rapping, we were dancing, we were singing, we were doing graffiti. We used to draw on our clothes. It was reality, stuff that you can't find on Google. We lived it.
Yeah,
you know.
The stuff that they look at as like ancient stories now. Like it was for us, that was a real thing. Like,
and I tell people, if you really want to know what hip hop was like in its growing states, talk to people that were around, and then you want to know because a lot of people want to know, well, what do you expect from today?
Right.
The one thing I think that any true hip hop head wants is the originality and that feeling that you get. You know, the first time you hear a song, and then the song stays with you 10 and 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, but you first gotta have songs that stay around longer than a year.
Right.
You know, and seeing that's that feeling of and that's the whole thing with the life of it. You don't put on a hat, a shirt, a chain, a necklace, a medallion, gold fronts, jewelry, and say I'm hip hop. You either are or you're not.
Right. Hip hop is really how you use a lifestyle, man. So it's a real life culture.
It truly is.
Yeah, it's a real culture.
Yeah, because it's a true culture, and it's a voice of people. So hip hop speaks, and see, that's the reason why a lot of people, they may say it's generational, but here's the true fact of it. I got a 13-year-old granddaughter, well, she's 14 now, and she asked the same questions. She said same questions now that she's 14. She's like, why does it seem that they don't really care about what they say in rap anymore? I said, because they don't.
Right.
Because they're being told, hey, every girl got to act like she is or was a stripper. Every dude got to act like this and that.
Yeah.
It's like, no. If you on the honor roll, but you just want to rap about what you want to do with your life, do it.
Right.
Will Smith wasn't no thug. He sold more records than every thug that ever made records.
Right.
I said, but nobody disrespects the Fresh Prince.
No, I mean, he's respected, but see, then we were a part of creating the culture.
Right.
It was different for us because we were a part of creating the culture. So we take it more serious. And for them it is just putting on the front seat jewelry. Like for them it really is that, because they can't really experience what we experienced. Like, we were Generation X. We were like boom, boom, boom. We was really in there learning it as we kind of went along. And now they just look at it. They see the end result of the struggle that we had to go through. You understand what I'm saying?
They're being forced. Yeah, and they're being forced to choose. Well, and see, they don't see the insight that, we have that true eye that we can see. It's just like watching the media. There's an image that's given,
right,
but there's a story that that conflicts with that image. The true story about it, everybody's not the same. Right. Even twins aren't the same. So no rappers should look sound the same. No artists should look or sound the same. DJs shouldn't DJ the same. You should not go into the 5 different venues and hear the same playlist in order. But it has happened.
Yeah, the clubs actually, and because you work the radio and the club, like the clubs actually sound like a playlist now. It sounds like a playlist on a radio station now. Like I said, most of the DJs playing the same. They just repeating what the other ones are playing. It used to be people who really broke new music. Like people don't really break new music. They breaking something that's already been broken somewhere else, and it's just the same thing. Everybody got the same thing playing over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
The craziest thing about that, there was a girl that came up to me. Actually, it was at My House restaurant.
Right.
And I was DJing one night, and it's you know how the group of girls come in. One girl came up to me. Question: she said, the way you play your music, you killing it. Like, I only play clean music where I'm DJing, no matter where I'm at. If I'm at a rowdy event or I'm at a corporate event, because most of the time, in most of the events that I do, I have to have clean versions. So I mean, over the last 30 years, it hadn't hurt, and nobody complains. She said, I've never heard a DJ rock a party with just clean versions. I said, dang, where you been? She said, no, I've been to places where they played it in the party rocking, but never at a venue outside of those type of things.
Right.
She said, no, I'm not. I said, well, you see, look, the floor is packed. I said, but give me your request. I got you. She said, and she gave me a request, and I hooked it up. Now, her friend came back like maybe 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
And she got in me. She was tried to rap. And I had my partner. My little brother, DJ Prince Charming, was there. And so she was like, look, my friend came to me, and she told me what you said. And I respect that, but I'm saying when I go somewhere and I pay my money, I expect for things to sound the same everywhere I go. I was like, really? I said, don't you think that's whack? That's like only eating fried chicken and wearing the same drawers all week. She said, well, I don't care if they say be, or say, well, suck this. Right. And then she threw this, and this is where people get it twisted. She said, I'm a this, I'm a that. She talking about her career. I make $75 a year, so like I said, mommy, I should get what I want. I said, sweetheart, it's just music. I said, look, the floor is packed. They're not complaining. I said, but if you got a song, I'll play it for you. You gonna play it dirty? He said, no. well, you got to play it the way I want it. I said, if you want it that bad, I said, all you got to do is go to your car and press play on your iPod or on your cell phone.
Right.
I said,
It ain't that complicated.
I said, yeah. So it's like you were saying. That's the only thing that I wish for the generation now. And it's not even about age. It's people that are in this time frame that they're only getting one side of things.
Right.
You know,
right.
They don't know. It's like, you know, when we were coming up, you wanted to go to college. You couldn't wait to graduate from high school because you get to go out and taste what else is out in the world.
Right.
All the different things going on. You know, when you got mixtapes from other places across the country and overseas, right. You were like, dang, they sound great. I can't wait to go visit Florida, Atlanta, California, Chicago, or overseas. You know, you got mixtapes like that. Versus now, they want you to choose and just fit into a box, which becomes a sad stigma, which becomes a label, which right. becomes not what a true representation.
Right.
Of the whole gamut of hip hop. Hip hop is like a buffet. It's so much.
And right now it's definitely not buffet action right now. Like right now it's
not on the mainstream.
Right now it's like one menu, the McDonald's menu. Like you know what you're gonna see up there. You know exactly what the number 1, the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Yeah. You know what's on there.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing but Big Macs, double cheeseburgers, and that same fish fillet has been there for
yeah, for real. Yeah. But so with the transition that the music has made over the years, has it been frustrating for you? I mean, for you to be a connoisseur of hip hop, a person
right.
who's been in it and really watched it from the ground up. I mean, how do you really feel about the transition of music? Has it been like a painful transition? Is it something you kind of cool with? You like to see it go forward, or you kind of feel like it's going too far? It went too far away from where it was at.
It's ironic and funny at the same time. When hip hop wasn't what we call commercially successful,
right?
That's what everybody says. It was pure. But it still had its purity when it became successful, right. Because when we were able to get it on a bigger scale, they sold whatever it was. It's like, wow, that's dope, that's different. So you had people like Brand Nubian, and they were selling, you know, and Rakim speaking knowledge, and you had your right. Public Enemies and NWA speaking about police brutality. Yeah. While they both did it different ways, they both got it accomplished.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and this is the ironic thing about what they called gangster music. Gangster music was people rebelling because gangsters, they were only really talking about brutality.
Right.
And coming from the street side of things, they were explaining, look, this is why people had to sell dope. We go and apply for jobs and you ain't hiring us.
Yeah.
So what do we got to do? And then they explain, and they're not justifying. And a lot of them weren't justifying it then. Now, it's okay. Now, what is it now? Okay, this is, like you said, this is the part now.
Yeah.
People went from selling drugs to doing the drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's okay to Percocet, Molly Percocet. Ain't nothing against Future. I love some Future. His album, that joint, Fly, I'm on to all of that stuff's dope.
Right.
But it just seems like now the coin's been flipped on us. We are now the guinea pigs rather than the leaders and the controllers of our culture.
Yeah. But you know, that's like you said, man. We went because we were a generation of hustlers. You know what I'm saying? We were a generation of hustlers, and that don't mean drugs. Like you actually had to explain to the generation now that hustlers means you do all kind of things to do what you got to do. It ain't about selling the dope. You know what I'm saying? But there was I kind of wonder sometimes where we went wrong, or did we go wrong? Because at the end of the day, I wonder that. Like, how did it go from the hustler to the user? Like because it was like not cool. Like when we were doing the music, like cats didn't even really want to say they sold it though. Like they talked about what they used to do. Yeah, they didn't want to say they were doing it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Right. They spoke about it in past tense.
see, and they spoke about it being done. They just didn't say it was them directly.
Right. Right.
Then came Thug Motivation 101,
yeah.
Trap or Die, Get Rich or Die Trying, Urban Legend. And while we still, those are classics, but those are classics because they still stay true to the code of, okay, well, look, I sold it, but this is how it went down. And then, and they broke the game down. But that was the game to be told. And then they see, and that's the thing. And going back to what you said about hustling, let's take a look at the situation. This coronavirus with the lockdowns and shutdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where your hustle mind come in. All right, I ain't DJing, so what have I been doing? People been booking me to do virtual parties, and so I DJ parties from home. That's a hustle.
Right.
The hustle, like you said, is you going out making and getting what your family needs without doing it illegally, as much as possible as you can.
Right.
And that's the hustle. And if you got a dream, you do what it takes to make you do what it takes to make what happen. See, that's the key part of now. You don't expect it to happen. Nobody owes you nothing. Anything you want in this life, you got to work for it. If you get signed to a record deal, you still got to make sure that you're the hardest working person.
Yeah, you got to go harder.
Yeah, no matter what breaks you get in life, you got to go. Every time a door opens for you, you work your hardest to not only stay in that door, but get to the next door.
Right.
Because you never stop working in this life. The only time your job is done is when your eyes close.
Right.
And that part is where people have to remember this. Keep hustling, keep focusing, remember, live your life, enjoy your life, but make your life, because it's up to you how your life turns out. What they've tried to convince people with is they feed you things. And that was something that I was going to get to with the industry. When they took over radio, when they took over this and took over that, they tell you what you're supposed to sound like, what you're supposed to talk about, example. I've taken music and I've done some A&R stuff, consulting for labels since '94, and so I'll take on somebody from South Carolina that's just got a street sound. I'll take on somebody that's got a commercial sound, they say, and they'll like both of them.
Right.
They said, yo, that's dope, man. I really like that. I would blast that all day. I said, okay, so what we gonna do? He said, well, I need a hit from. I said, what you mean? You just said that was a hit. He said, yeah, but I need. I said, but here's where it came. Or this way is scary. I need something like what's on the radio. I said, and going back to what you said earlier, I said, yo, ain't that biting? Ain't that fronting? That's violating the true code of hip hop. You're not supposed to imitate, act like, look like, or sound like nobody else. We're not supposed to make a Panda record sound like Future and we're somebody else.
Right. It was supposed to, originality was our thing.
Yeah, because see, originality made them want to go look for another one of those. Right. But when you keep getting the knockoffs, eventually people don't want the knockoff no more. Cause they're like, I hear all of those. That's too many of them. Just too many people sound like T-Pain. Let me just listen to T-Pain. There's too many people sounding like Future. Let me just listen to Future. There's too many people sounding like, to the point where you don't even want to hear that sound anymore. And that's the problem with the current state of it. It's not that it's whack and with a lot of stuff. It's just, it's oversaturating the same thing, everybody doing the same thing. Who's different? And then here's the key point. I'll go back to 2017. No features. One person on the album.
Right.
Number one album, J. Cole.
I remember that.
Still had records that played in the street. Still had, and here's the funny part. The only reason why they played one of the records is because he said, I got something different in my cup. The only thing, the chorus about that song is the only thing that made it fit in with everything else that was on the radio.
Yeah, it was halfway. It was halfway negative influential.
Yeah, it was like,
Halfway
if you gotta
negative
say
joke.
something, he said, I got something. It's like Jay-Z, remember the song Excuse Me Miss? He says, you already know what I'm driving on, what I'm wearing, and what I'm sipping on. Because he didn't want to date the song, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we don't want to follow. And so the key words are, don't be a follower, be a leader. Because when you lead, you take people somewhere, like jumping on a plane.
Right.
I guess this is the example I gave people the other day. If you put people in a cab, they can jump out.
Right.
If they get on a bus, they can jump off.
Right.
But you get on a plane or a train, you ain't trying to jump and die.
Right.
Jump off the train and die. And once you're on a plane, you gotta wait that ride that whole way out.
Yeah.
And so you want to give them the ride of their life as a musician, as an artist, whatever you do, no matter what. If you're an artist, if you're somebody that draws, if you're somebody that speaks, talks, sing, whatever your talent is,
right.
When you've got people's attention, take them somewhere. Make them be like, man, that was dope. That was great. I had the best time of my life. That was so lit. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to hear that again or see that again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where I feel like we don't get that, like that's what's missing, that the anticipation of a project is not even there anymore. I think that's why it was bad when everything went from physical copies to more digital. It kind of hurt that it hurt that anticipation of listening to it, because that's what we used to do. We wanted to open up. We just wanted to open it up, pop it in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And really hear something. And that just really the game is a lot different, man. What was the point when you realized? Because we speaking about patience as well, and the grind and the hustle. You know what I'm saying? At what point did you realize you were really starting to make some type of headway in the game as a DJ? Because I know when you came into the station, I'm pretty sure they had people before you, and you had to kind of like work it out. Because back then you had to like earn that. You couldn't just get to a spot. You had to really earn that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was, you had that top dog that wasn't trying to give the spot up. Like you got people in the radio back then. They was old, like because they wasn't trying to come up off that spot. Yeah, they weren't trying to come up off that spot like that. So at what point in your career did you realize you were really making a break? Like, okay, I'm about to be the guy, or this is something I think I'm gonna be here for a minute.
Well, you know what's funny? When you're doing it and it keeps happening, let's first off, when you're doing your thing, it keeps happening.
Right.
Excuse me, because you keep reaching different levels.
Right.
Okay, so when I was doing it on the streets and schools, and then I got to open up for concerts in the 80s, they had this tour called a Fresh Fest tour with Salt and Pepper, Run DMC, Dougie Fresh, and all these artists. And then they would slap DJs on the tour to rock in between the artists. I got to do that.
Right.
And then when you doing all these college parties, tours, and concerts and clubs, and the radio's like, yo, there's this dude that's killing the game. This dude just moved here. His name's Prince Ace. And so next thing you know, Big DM calls and like, all right. So I was like, okay, well, let me know what you want to do.
Right.
Ain't do nothing. Then they came back and they heard me. They heard me at a concert. So they're like, come on, and boom. So that's how it starts. People come to you because, like you were saying, if you're doing your thing, you're being original, and you're doing it because, one, you got to have the love for it, the passion for it, and you always want to be your best. Right. You're competing, but your biggest competition, no matter what people say, is yourself. Because, and especially when people are aspiring to be like other people, be you, be the best version of you. Because everybody now can push button, buy a laptop, buy a controller, and they're a DJ. Back in the day, you had to buy your own records. Yeah, imagine having to carry records in 2020.
Them vinyls, man. They don't know about them vinyls, man.
No, imagine having having to make a cassette. They don't even know what a cassette is. And then when CDs became the next thing, and, and the word mixtape is not being properly used today. Mixtape. Mixtape means songs that are mixed by a DJ on a tape or CD.
Man, we had the
mixtape,
we had the DJ SNS, we had
SNS,
Clue,
Ron G, Kid Capri. You had Jam Pony from Florida. You had DJ Jelly from Atlanta, one of my close dudes.
Yeah.
And you got all these other people. So you realized, I guess, okay, like you said, if you're becoming that person that everybody's checking for,
right,
rather than let your head get big, get on your job.
Right.
And you stay on your job, because I'm blessed to have been in radio now 33 years. On the road since, start DJing. My mom and them had me starting at 5, doing family functions and stuff at school.
Right.
So by the time I'm a teenager, it's on. So
right.
I've been DJing my whole life.
So that question answered it. That first question, you was in it. You was in it at the gate. Like you've been in it.
Yeah, but you have to keep that hunger from day one to infinity. Because, and you have to keep being humble. Be proud of yourself, but don't be conceited. Don't be stuck up, or don't think, yo, I'm that dude. I'm that nah.
I got a bad habit in it.
No, but see, here's the thing. Let me tell you what one of my managers told me because me and my best friend Rob, we was a group when I was 17, and we opened up for LL, we opened up for Houdini, and bruh. And so when you're an opening act and you got people screaming and they ain't never heard you, and the big artists come out there and this, so you got Big Daddy Kane's DJ Mr. C, like, yo, where y'all from? I said, we both originally from New Jersey, but we moved here to Columbia. I hooked up with him. He's from East Orange. I'm from Patterson. And his mom and my mom connected, and they did the same thing to us down here in Columbia that they used to do back up north. We got in trouble together, and both of them. Cynthia, this boy and Robert, they got in trouble. I didn't beat them. I'm sending them over there, and make sure you beat them too.
Yeah.
So my moms beat us. His moms beat us. The village was there. But there's something right there. Hip hop encompassed the community. Right. So it's no longer about us, because see, it grew with us.
Right.
Now the question is it still with us, or is it with the corporations, or is it with the industry? Because the industry now is telling everybody, see? The industry's now telling all our females, and ain't nothing wrong with sexy females. I love it. Love them. But what trumps it for me, be fine. But you better know how to rap.
Yeah.
You better know how to spit. Make me go, dang.
I mean, the industry.
Hear what Megan just said?
The industry has definitely changed most of the culture in the eyes of the millennials and everything after us. Like, because I think it's crazy because I talk about that with a lot of people, man. The level of, it used to be the women had so much problem with what we were saying in our music, and now we don't have to say it anymore. Like they say it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not that many men out there now that can be as nasty as a lot of the females. they kind of got
females are nastier.
They way nasty. They kind of got us beat at this point in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I mean, that's kind of crazy. But you know what? I wanted to ask, when the new stations started to come around and the things started to change, like, were you affected in any negative way by that? Like, with the Big M going from playing, you know what I'm saying, being like the main, pretty much playing everything, to kind of breaking it down, and we're going to play this and somebody else is over there now. Like, how did that work out? I mean, were you affected as a DJ by that?
Well, what the Big DM and a lot of stations faced across the country is before there were hip hop stations, the urban radio stations, they played rap. What they did was called day party. They played rap either at the 3 o'clock and then all the regular stuff after 6 o'clock. My show during the Bay Ice Cold Radio was 6 to 10.
Right.
So all of it on me. So I was like, remember you used to go in the store. It wasn't before Foot Locker. You just had the shoe department in Sears or Macy's. And you had if Jordans came out, you had to get them early. Then Foot Locker opens up, a store that specializes in sneakers only.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
That was the reaction. Yeah. So if you wanted nothing but sneakers, you went straight to, and the hip hop station came on. Now the station that's still playing Luther Vandross got to find a way to inculcate Ja Rule or juveniles and mysticals and Pharaoh Monches. They got to find their way to incorporate all this hip hop around the R&B, and then that forced the hip hop stations to have to force some R&B around the hip hop.
Right.
Because so that the balance had to come. So then now the hip hop stations became hip hop and R&B. Your home for hip hop and R&B. So you would hear Monica, and then you would hear Jay-Z. Right. And then you'd hear Brandy, then you'd hear Silk the Shocker. Right. Or somebody, and then so you saw how the balance was there and then you would still hear some Jodeci or Boys to Men, and then you would hear a Heavy D. Well, you heard Heavy D and Will Smith and LL all day long. Right. When they really started playing rap, those were the three, other than Salt and Pepper and Houdini, that you could hear, and Rob Bass. You hear that stuff all day long. So songs that were R&B friendly, they played. But when a hip hop station came along, short story, it made people. It didn't really affect you negatively. It just made you adjust. Right. And so what that goes to something that I'll share. If people ever ask you, how do you stay relevant when things change? You don't change who you are. You're like a caterer. Right. Oh, now people like, it's like caterers used to just, when you go to weddings, they just serve this, and this. But now a lot of people don't eat meat. So now they got to have a vegetarian and a vegan. You see what I'm saying? So they can still serve the stuffed chicken and the turkey and the slice of ham, but table 6 is the one full of vegans. So now they got to serve them a vegan meal with all of them still drinking.
Right. Right. So they basically just had to adjust. You still doing what you're doing. You just adjusting to what's going on around you.
You adjust. You don't. And this is where people have to be careful. You fall off when you try to be something you're not.
Right.
So you don't have to change who you are. You can incorporate what else, the new things, but you have to do it in a sensible way. You gotta be smart about it. You can't force it that way. You trying to be something you're not. A DJ should be able to play everything from reggae to rock to the hardest street records to club music, whatever it is, not just one thing. Just like if you ate chicken all day, fried chicken every day, you'd be like, that's boring. That's wild.
Yeah, listen, I remember when I was a little kid, one time me and my mama moved, and I know how that feels literally, because we ate Chinese rice like every day. Like that.
Bruh, do you remember steakums? We used to buy them and heat them up in the little toaster.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I love those, but then we got broke. All we had to eat was oatmeal. I don't like eating oatmeal now. To this day, I ate oatmeal so much back in the day. I used to think the Quaker man was waving at me off the box. I'm just saying, like he was winking at me. I was like,
"I'm here to see you."
Yeah, I see you at 3 o'clock when you get hungry. Yeah. Like, no, you won't.
I see you. So, with the So basically, you didn't really have a negative effect too much with the transition of with the stations being added. And you pretty much you were pretty much able to kind of keep the same flow. Like, did you participate?
Yeah. Well,
did you participate in, like, because you know when newer companies come in or when new rivals come in, you know, a lot of times the older people or the people that's in the business, they look to the other people to kind of help with ideas in order to stay relevant and keep it. Did you ever play a part at any point in time in really helping that happen? You know what I'm saying? Like helping them figure that out?
Well, because the big DM, like I said, they slapped me with the responsibility. And I know you remember this. I was doing my 6 to 10 during the week, and I had to do club 1-on-1 on Saturday nights.
Yeah, I do.
And I had to do the Friday night mix.
Yeah.
So if hip was playing on main playing through. So yeah, they were like, well, what do we do?
Right.
I said, well, look, we just got to play it. You know, I mean, you've been forcing me to play it on my show. Now you got to play it, you know, because you can't just play it for 4 hours. That would be, I have to think about it. That's like going to, like I said, going to Sears and they only got 12 pairs of sneakers and they go to Foot Locker open up next door.
Yeah.
Where you going to get your sneakers? Foot Locker. They got 100 pair of them. So you have to, and they had to adjust the format to where you gave, then that's where you became the buffet. But you had to know how to balance it. You didn't want to lose the core audience you had, but you had to introduce them to what was next.
Right.
So, and whoever didn't want it, that's what it is. But when you slowly show people, hey, look, yo, this hip hop, and because people weren't denying it, you know what I'm saying? People started going platinum before the '90s. Everybody started going platinum in the '90s, or gold at least.
Yeah, everybody from the '90s all the way through really like 2001. Like right around 2001, things started. The platinum plaque started to disappear.
Yeah, by 2007 or 8, you had to find people going platinum.
Yeah,
you know,
they were down there buying their platinums by then.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody had to just realize, okay, look, give people what they want, but feed it to them. You know, it's like when your grandparents wanted you to eat vegetables.
Right.
What did they do? Put cheese on it.
Yeah.
And slowly fed it to you. You was like, that was macaroni and cheese? No, that was cheese and broccoli.
You just saw that nice cheese on that thing.
Yeah, now you eat cheese and broccoli.
Yeah. Do you miss the R&B? Like, do you kind of miss, like, because I don't know whether you get a chance to hear what we don't hear? Like, is R&B really gone, or is it just not a lot of it being played?
You know, here's the thing that I do miss, where everybody got to enjoy some of the same stuff. Like, having grandkids now, this is amazing. First, having grandkids. I'm a young grandpa. I'm a young papa, as they say.
I got a couple of them myself. They call me
Papa.
Yeah, I'm a papa.
Yeah, papa. Yeah, we papa.
Yeah.
When you know, my grandkids keep me up. Their radio stations are YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes.
Yeah. And
Tidal and Spotify and Pandora. So they'll put you on songs that you know I'm not playing on the radio.
Right.
And why are they not playing on the radio? Because the corporation industry. There's the corporations that are labels. They get in bed with the corporations that own the radio stations, and then they say, all right, you play these songs because this is how we do this. And here's another thing people aren't thinking about. All these same corporations also own the prisons. Yeah, let that sink in your mind.
I already know about the story. We're gonna get there. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't want to jump the gun.
Yeah, go yeah.
But if you want me to touch, I'll touch it. So here's the main thing that scares everybody that's been in hip hop or been around it for a while, is the thing that this people today may not see. It's like it's like peer pressure, but they're blinding you.
Right.
It's like being kidnapped mentally. They got you in a room tied to a chair, and this TV is only playing one thing. And after a while, you get desensitized to it.
Yeah.
So that's why people think it's okay to be this and do that. And they'll say, well, this rapper made it because no, listen, if I'm a corporation that owns, and here's the change in the music industry from us buying CDs and records and tapes to, remember, and then the final straw, you don't even download, you don't even buy MP3s no more. It's all straight streaming.
Right. Yeah, for real. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it is.
T.I. just dropped some knowledge on Instagram the other day. He said, now what they do is they give you the music for free.
Mm-hmm.
You just pay for the technology. Because see what the record labels did, the corporations, both the record labels and both the radio companies and both the people all these same people got their hands in the prison system and everything. Come on, look at it. Bill Gates owns patents to all these vaccines that's supposed to coronavirus, on the coronavirus. Yeah. Think for a minute, people. Yeah. I sound like a conspirators, but the overall thing is this. Everything is about money. So if I can tell you what I want you to believe, tell you what I want you to think, tell you who you are, tell other people who you are.
Right.
I shape the minds of the people. So therefore, if you think that all you can do is this, then I'm going to fill my prisons with you because that's all you think you're worth. Right. Or I'm going to fill this with you. Or you're going to portray this image. This is why people love and hate the reality shows. Every Real Housewives of this, married to that.
I really do hate them. Like, I don't like them because I don't like the reality shows because all they do is it's more of the influence that they pass along to the females, the generation coming up that I have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand entertainment, but I don't like, they make it look okay to just be like hood as hell, or like you watching grown ass women act not right in public. Like that's not normal. That's not what we see all the time. We don't just see a bunch of older black chicks fighting at the club, and that's not what we see all the time. And they make it look like in the reality shows, they make it look like grown folks just pop off like young folks all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't set a good example of what they're trying to become. You know what I'm saying?
It sends this one message, and it mainly sends it to our people. It sends it to blacks and Latinos mainly. But it says this: even with money, these ends is still this way. Whether they broke or got money, this is how they
act. Yeah, this is who they are. Yeah,
this is who they are.
They really are animals. You know what I'm
saying? And so sadly, like you said, some people believe it. All right, I got to show my breast and shake my butt for a man to like me. No, you don't. If you fine, you fine. I'm gonna like you whether you got on a 3-piece suit or a bikini.
Man, would you believe I actually? I had this female. That I dealt with at one point in time, right? And I stopped dealing with her because everything with her was, have you seen my picture on Facebook? Why didn't you like my picture? Like she was so, it was like, so you mean to tell me I gotta rock with you on social media? Like I gotta show you that I like you to everybody else, you know what I'm saying, in order for us to have something that's gonna work. But that's what the reality shows and stuff do. It make them feel like this is the imagery of what your life has to be like. Like, it gotta look like this. This is what it's gonna be, and this is what y'all should do. Even if you, like you say, even if you got money, this is who we are. But these people gotta say these right words to you for you to really be that. Or you're not gonna be popular unless you do this right here. It's like, nah, I shouldn't have to hit the like button on a picture when I can tell you I like you. Like, you already know that. So, but they following what they think is supposed to be based off of what's put in front of everybody.
And you notice what we said earlier, because of how it's presented now, it don't even matter the age.
No.
I had an argument on social media. This woman posted something on Facebook.
Right.
She was maybe 52. This is maybe a few years ago. So she's about close to 60 now.
Yeah.
She posted something on Facebook saying, if your man don't post pictures of you on social media, he cheating.
Right. Yeah. I've seen some similar ones like that.
and I had other women coming to my rescue because I told her, I said, sweetheart, if he was cheating, Facebook ain't got nothing to do with him cheating. I said, if he was cheating before Facebook, ain't gonna stop the cheating. And it ain't gonna prove that he loves you more or less.
Right.
If somebody posting your picture on the social media don't mean nothing. See, the main thing that we gotta remember about all of this and bringing it back around to hip hop is when this system takes everything from the people, they manipulate it and tell you, like you said, they're gonna tell you who you are, how you are, what type of person you are, and how you have to be accepted. Or you want people to like you, you got to be ratchet. Now, the funny part about us, knowing what hood really was, if you was hood, you like, yo, no, I do real hood, man. He don't play about us, whatever. That didn't mean that he acted ignorant. That means that he had a certain code that he lived by.
There you go. Hood
it was
is really it was more of a code in the state of mind. It's not. You know what I'm saying.
But it wasn't a forced or controlled thing. If the computers and the internet went down right now, some people wouldn't have a life. There's a phrase that I said in 2016. Social media has made people anti-social.
Right.
They don't know how to interact with each other.
Nope.
I'm gonna say it. I love this singer, but I watched her go off on some artists, her fans the other day, and it wasn't fair. Because people live by this. Who doesn't like to have likes, follows, and shares and reposts? That's great, but so what? When you cut your phone, if you cut your phone off, there's some people can't live without.
Yeah, if they cut it off.
Yeah. If you don't have a life outside of social media, you don't have a life. Right. If you don't have a life outside of what this system tells you, you don't own your life. They do. They telling you who you are. You don't even know who you are anymore. And so this singer, it was Chrisette Michelle. Man, I love that girl. She's beautiful
voice on her, boo. And she
But she was talking about something, and one of the fans was like, "Chrisette, listen, I love you. Looking forward to some great new music for you." She said, "Yeah, I hear you, understand, but I don't want to hear none of that right now. I need you to help me with this." And like, wow. Right. I need everybody to hit like if you like, if you don't like, and I understand, but it's like people do crazy stuff just to get likes.
Yeah,
to get followed.
That's like bullying. That's like bullying your fans into doing something different. You know what I'm saying? And that can be a major turnoff. Like I have some artists that I've dealt with, and even me myself. Like I was in a different situation just based off the fact that my personality and the type of stuff I did kind of gave me room to do some outlandish things sometimes. But I have other artists that kind of was doing a lot of stuff I was doing. And I was like, listen, man, like you got real fans. Like you got people that's really watching you, it's certain things that you can do to really turn those fans off. Like don't curse your fans out. Like don't Because even me,
No.
I would do wild stuff, but one thing I never do though, is talk noise to the people that I look to be as friends, followers, and fans. Like I'm always in pocket with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that's a different relationship. So if I say something the wrong way towards my fan base, I could lose fans behind that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's important. It's important to know. It's important to know when to say that. Like what she said is something that you could say to a friend, like a person that knows you. But you can't say something like that to a fan because they might be sensitive and they look up to you. Fans look up to you a lot too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's
I had a few weeks ago, in the middle of April. It's hard. You got to think. I lost one of my friends to coronavirus. He died in the hospital. You know, we couldn't even go to his funeral. Well, you got to think. One of our boys just lost his mom and his brother. My homegirl from Brooklyn. You know, my homegirl from Brooklyn lost her mother, her father, and her brother. You know, a friend of mine lost a child to the coronavirus. It has no discrimination. It has no discrimination. And while I was talking about it, somebody made a joke on my live, and I said, "Bro, I said, man, please don't make jokes right now. This hurts." And then I had to move away from the camera because I broke down for a second. Then I came back and I said, "Listen," I said, "Charles, I'm sorry. I apologize." I said, "I'm hurt, man. I miss my dude." You know, I said, "I know." I said, and then he said, "Look, I'm sorry too, man." And but see, the one thing that you said is when you're on your live mixes or when you're on your feeds on these things, your fans become your fam, but you still have to be the person in control, realizing they're perfect strangers, but they come and get to know you. You just got to be you. Don't be what the world's telling you to be. Be you, because then when you out there at the grocery store and somebody walk up on you, be like, "Prince Ice, yo, I'm Bam Bam 2020." I like, yo, what's up? And then start conversation. Man, I said, I appreciate the way you chime in because, you know, and that was a girl. And she's like, yeah, because I heard, you know, because sometimes people get this little internet, you know, they get that behind the screen, that what I call it, keyboard courage. They get that keyboard courage because they can type. Internet gangsters. Internet
keyboard gangsters. That little dude I used to watch his show all the time. He was banging on the keyboards, just banging on the keyboard.
Right. So everybody, internet thugs. Because somebody made a post about how, you know, when Gayle King did that interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe. And everybody was mad about, not because the interview, because it just felt like she was leading. We all saw the interview. It was like, yo, there was a little sensitive, Gayle. You did what an interview person do, but come on, you know, because you didn't do that you didn't do it to Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
You ain't do it to the other counterparts. But and they weren't wrong. It seemed like every time a black man got in trouble, they was going hard on him. But these white dudes that was doing sex trafficking, they was so lenient with them, they ain't talk about it.
They didn't even touch on the conversations with them. Like they damn near protected them through the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
And then the worst part was when people started making these songs saying how they you know, they was mad at how Snoop responded, and then Snoop apologized, but then some other rappers were saying, "Look, Gayle," now and they said, "What do you think about that?" I said, it's sad that we are destroying ourselves. We as a people, we have gotten to the point where we no longer respect ourselves.
Right.
You know, and then two people came at some dude and some girl. And when the dude was like, how are you qualified to speak on whatever? I said, what's qualification? What are you doing with this? I said, everybody's here expressing their opinion. A lot of people saying the same thing I was saying, but you come at me?
Right.
I said, there's the whole point of it. I said, we have to stop gunning for each other as a people and figure out how can we see through what's going on. And that's the overall thing that if you want my whole answer about everything that's going on, from hip hop to life, and first off, we have to check us individually, family-wise, community-wise.
Right.
And then we gotta grab us.
Right.
You'll immediately say, yo, Ice, yo, we respect you because you always this. Don't change yourself to fit in with that. Because people that always follow, when it's style change, they try to change, then people like, nah, man, you was over here leaning and rocking and snapping and cranking that. And ain't nobody cranking nothing now.
Yeah.
So we have to always remember, if you want longevity, and not only in life, but in whatever you're doing, don't lose you. Right. Don't lose who you are, the integrity you have, the morals that you were given. The world don't have morals no more.
Right.
There are things that we watched, the whole world changed. Stuff that was terrible when we were kids is normal now.
Man, listen, we gotta watch how we talk. Like, I mean, cause like now that I'm in the podcasting world, like, it get rough sometimes. Cause I actually, like, I've learned how to be real careful,
right,
with what I be saying, and I'm careful not because I'm afraid. I'm careful because people are so sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real easy to offend people. And you never know who your sponsors and stuff really are as people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got sponsorship money, but you don't know who they are as a person. So you might say the wrong thing, and that's who they are as a person. And now so like you said, something we could have said years ago that was cool to just say it, or a lifestyle that may have not been okay then is normal now. The word that we could say then, we better not even form our lips to say it now.
Right. And so now,
for real.
You're like, now, you basically now, it's, the thing that I thank God that I've always been able to do is say, look, all right, I see how the world is changing, how the world is evolving.
Right.
You give the respect you want. That's the part. Right. Give the respect you want. The only problem with the world today, they're trying to force you. Well, this is what it is now. You got to accept it. No, I got to respect it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Because that's like somebody telling you.
I can respect it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like them trying to look at the way things are going. Remember, they try to force everybody to get the flu vaccine, but there are people that have taken it and have died. So they can't enforce it and make it mandatory.
Right.
Same way that there's a conspiracy going on that everybody is kind of aware of. When people die now, like I know 4 people that died since March that died of cancer, lupus, or something else.
And they put
not
Corona on. Yep.
Yes. Yep. But the hospitals and the corporations and they get more money if they put it down as COVID-19. Because
we just talked about that the other day. We just talked about it. Yeah.
So so people have to remember, this system is driven by 2 things: power and money. That's it. All of us are just we're just a dollar. We are money.
Yeah.
And we either helping somebody make money, or they feel like we making them lose money, and that's like what you just said. So
we either assets or liabilities. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Them the 2 things. Them the 2 things I tell people about. I said, man, ain't the 2 things in life that matter to these people out here: assets and liability. Which one are you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And so everybody has to realize which one are you going to be.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be an asset, then you have to have 2 other things too. You have to have accountability and responsibility.
Right.
Hold yourself accountable for what you do and what you don't do, and be responsible enough to know that just because everybody else is doing something, you should not. As a matter of fact, you don't have to.
Right. Right.
You'll survive, because when that's done and the next thing comes in and they're like, yo, you still around. You still doing your thing. Because you didn't, well, everybody wearing a white tee. Yep, in my white tee. And you wore the black tee. You survived. You didn't sweat. When everybody was just wearing jerseys and you just wore a shirt, a T-shirt with the name on it.
Right. I mean, that's just like even with this show, man. Like I had a lot of people that was kind of against the concept of what I was doing because they didn't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the name threw them off, and how I lived kind of threw them off. But what I said was like, I was like, listen, man, this is my thing. This is what I do. This is who I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna do this. And people, I'm talking about, they was riding me all the way till times like now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, he's really, now I got people that wouldn't even rock with it sponsoring, and they wouldn't even touch it before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now they actually really, I'm really getting paid to talk. So I'm like, but it came from being original and just doing me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That is your only job in this life. Be the best version of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because how you remain successful is, let's take, for example, Ford, the oldest car in the world.
Right.
Been out here longer than any other car.
Yeah.
For F-150 still the best-selling truck on the planet. Although I love Cadillacs and GMC Sierras, an F-150 is still the best-selling truck on the planet.
Before they even got to run commercials like that no more.
Nah, no. Somebody said this. You don't ever see ads for Lamborghinis or certain other cars because they know the value of what they are.
Yeah.
So you don't have to fight for likes, follows, shares, and repost and all these other things that they're demanding you. You don't have to do something online that 10 years, 20 years down the line will embarrass you. You don't have to do anything that compromises your integrity just to get people to look and listen at you, to get the numbers up. You know, because what happens is these people don't know you.
Right.
Your true followers, your true fans, the true people don't want you to do something crazy or stupid. They want you to actually be you.
Yeah.
You know, and because you should have your life. So when this happens, when you turn off the computer, and sometimes you got to put the phone away. Everybody needs to detox from social media at least once a month for a week.
Yeah. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I got days when I don't cut my phone on to like for hours. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something I started doing a while ago. I just don't cut my phone on at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care what calls are coming through.
But we're all guilty of it.
I call whoever I'm gonna call first, and then I cut it off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's it. To be around and to still do what you love to do after all these years, I thank God for that, because I realized, and this goes to what you asked me earlier, as things change, as you start becoming popular with what you do, like with what your show, the reason why people love your show and why I agreed to be on your show, because see, I know you.
Right.
I know you.
Right.
And I know the purpose behind your show. But see, knowing who a person is, and see with your show, this is why you got sponsors. This is why people tune in. They know you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So knowing the person.
They do.
And when they know you, they know what you're trying to do, what you're trying to say, because we either have a purpose or everything has a purpose. But if your purpose is something that's genuine, and this is how you make your memories in life. When you die, you never hear people say, man, he owned 17 cars, 13 boats, orange stars, green clovers, and blue diamonds.
Right.
They only talk about, yo, Test man, he said something and it touched me, and it motivated me and made me do this.
Right.
And so people remember how you impacted their life by being you.
Right.
That is the only thing we have to do in this life.
Right. Right.
Keep your morals, keep your integrity, and keep your own identity and originality. That will carry you beyond when everything changes. Because everything's going to keep changing.
Right.
But something has to remain solid.
Right.
Something has to sustain and keep going.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I'm gonna ask you one more question, then we're gonna get out of here because this has been a great interview. It has been a great conversation. It ain't even an interview. It's been a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I gotta ask this one just for the artist. But with you being in the radio world, is the corporations or is radio against is local radio, independent local radio against the local artists, or is the local artists just not doing their due diligence to get to where they need to get to?
All right, let's take it back real quick. When I had Ice Cold Radio in the 90s, the #1 show in not only in Columbia, but it was the #1 show in South Carolina. The Big DM was #3 in the country.
Right.
I was #5.
Right.
You remember, I broke everybody from Lil Rube, Mr. Flip, to Master P, to Redman and Method Man. Yeah. I broke Biggie. When Biggie and Craig Mack had the Big Mac tour.
Right.
I was working with that.
Okay.
And we brought Biggie to the Township Auditorium.
I remember when he came.
Yeah. Me and my man Tony G hosted that show. But see, that era, like you said, we were making, there was no blueprint for anything.
All right, we were creating it as we went. Yeah.
We created it. And see, that's where everything got off track. Artists have to remember to be your blueprint. Now, when the companies, and like what you were saying, the companies own the radio station, they own record labels, now they own the streaming companies, now they own it all.
Right.
So now Spotify 0.00246, an eighth of a penny. That's crazy. When
DMX was crying about like 10 cents.
Yes. When they're paying you,
great.
Yeah. When they're paying you what they want you to have, see, that's the whole thing of it. I'm sorry, I'm walking back to get me some more water over here. To sum it up real quick, artists have to just remember, look, the new way you have to push yourself, you still got to incorporate some of the old ways too. Right. The digital world, you got social media. Right. Use your social media to promote yourself. You are the product.
Right.
Every day. Right. So, yeah, if you're going to be on your social media, don't do no stupid stuff on there. You know when you're doing something stupid. Right. Don't talk about, I'm going to shoot that. Nah, no.
Yeah. No. Putting out the wrong type of people are there for your music. They're there for your music. They're there because they rock with you as an artist and they like your personality or whatever the case may be. So they don't want to hear. They don't want to. I try to tell the artists that keep your personal business off, man, because I got one artist I'm dealing with right now. I really had to get on him, man, and because he got people really watching him. Like they like people are really interested in him, and these are important people. And it's like he had did a live one day, and he was like, "What? It wasn't a cool live." You know what I'm saying? And I knew who was watching. So I was like, yo, like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, cause I had a situation where I lost the situation behind the same type of activity, doing too much, not knowing who was watching. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling him what I already knew. And I was like, listen, I've been there and done that, but you can't do that. We're making too much progress. Like, you know what I mean? Your objective is to focus on yourself as the product. Push the product. The nonsense, leave it where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And see, if you're going to get personal, you bring them into, see, people's like this. They want to know who you are. Do you like macaroni and cheese? You like going to the park?
Right.
Do you buy Jordans when they come out, or do you order them online so you ain't got to stand in the crowd? Do you do this? Do you do that?
Right.
Are you like me? And if you are like me, and then think about it. How many artists have gotten on their social media and say, listen, I hope y'all doing all right during this crisis right here.
Right.
See, so to sum it up with the radio and stuff, what I tell artists, man, look, the more real you are and more in touch with what's going on with people, the more fans you'll get. And then this is a business. So you want, here's what I would do right now as an artist. I would take all the money that I'm spending on these $200 and $400 sneakers and advertise my music on the radio.
Right.
Don't worry about it. They're playing.
Yeah,
you get spins on you. Yeah, advertising. You got 10,000 views on YouTube. Yeah. Now you got 100,000 views on YouTube. And if the radio ain't playing your song, buy a commercial. Yo, the brand new single, Light It Up. Tessalini featuring Prince Ice on the scratches. You know, we done got mad downloads as fans, but here's the thing. And then they set up their own website to sell the MP3 on their own website.
Right.
People can download the MP3.
Yeah. Instead of
And so do the business. Because see, their business is they ain't gonna let you in until you become something that they need.
Right. Right.
That's it. Until they hear you.
Yeah, these days they want you to already be made. You got to be self-made already. They're not even gonna be interested in listening to nothing you got going on if you ain't already self-made.
Right. So that's basically what it is. Radio says, all right, yo, this is a brand new rapper from Columbia, South Carolina. Yo, they making noise. They performing in all the clubs in Columbia.
Right.
Okay. Everybody in the streets heard about him.
Right.
All right. So now you sit back and you watch. So they say, well, Prince Ice, I'm in the club, my mixtape, I'm selling mixtapes. All right, do me this favor. Stop standing in front of Walmart, scaring white women, handing your CD out. Start selling your CD at Walmart.
I'm so glad.
No, don't do that no more. And I'm glad that don't happen no more because they ain't making, how about they ain't making cars with CD players no more? So you can't do that no more.
Man, I keep trying to tell the artists. I used to try to be nice. Now I just tell them. I used to try to be, now I just be like, listen, if you're pressing up CDs, stop. You know, just stop. Like, find other ways. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's cool. Every now and then you might run into, people buy CDs like souvenirs now. You know what I'm saying? They buy, it's more like memorabilia. You know what I mean? They really just buying it to support you, but they're not going to pop the CD anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they may not have nowhere to pop it in.
Yeah, they can't put it in that. If they pull up with anything past 2010 or 11, 12, like you might as well just not even worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But and even if they do have a CD player, chances are they're not gonna slide the CD in. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They're not gonna do it.
You get in the car, you Bluetooth your cell phone to the radio, and you playing what you want to hear from whatever your streaming service of choice. So
I agree with what you said with the commercials, because when I was doing the artistry thing, that's what I did. I got big when I was doing the artist thing. I got big as an artist because I sponsored the mix hours. Like I was at
you did.
Yep, and Foxy 103.1, I did it there. I did it with Bobby Nichols. Like I did, you know what I'm saying? Like I went to different stations and literally was sponsored. If they had a 9 o'clock mix hour, then I was gonna sponsor that 9 o'clock mix hour. You know what I'm saying? And my song always, it was either gonna hear it play or it was gonna be a commercial, something. But you got a chance to. I had a whole little thing, the little timeline or whatever. Say my little 1 minute. I think mine was this is a such and such show by Shot World Entertainment, home of BOO and Tessalini. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
Yeah. So, but that's how it was. That goes back to what you're saying, mix the old with the new. Because that's really that old school hustle that we used to do. We used to sponsor the shows and pay that. And that's what they're missing now. They got the social media on lock. but they not coming. They're not leaving from behind that computer. Like everybody is just all computers, all the computers.
And they're not using it for what it's for.
No.
Bruh, if we had social media in the 90s with physical, think about it, with physical product, listen to me. When Urban, I'm going to give you one. This is the final days of CDs. 16 years ago, Urban Legend by T.I. drops.
Yeah.
I'm doing an in-store at Manifest on Broad River Road. I had three mixtapes out. I'm mixing live. I had just got a distribution deal for my Feel So Good mixtape.
Right.
And then I released 2 street mixtapes. My distribution deal was with Fontana Universal. So I got to deal with Fontana and Universal Records.
Yeah.
So that week, the top 5 albums were T.I., Britney Spears that came out with another album.
Yeah.
Another pop artist. And the final 2 were my mixtapes.
Yeah.
At Manifest.
Yeah.
A local cat.
Yeah.
And it made the free times. I'm going to have to go back and find it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. You got to use. So now I tell people you got 2 streets, the digital and the physical.
Right.
If you got social media, every day that you pick up your phone, I'll tell you, if I was a rapper right now, this would be me every day. What up, y'all? It's another morning. Well, I'm hungry. Jesus. And you just get on the social media. Yo, what y'all think ought to do? Y'all go to IHOP or Denny's or should I go to Waffle?
Get them a little bit more interaction with you as a
Matter of fact,
we didn't have that back in the days. We didn't have that fan artist interaction.
Yeah, because like I'll do that sometimes. Like, okay, like every day I'm on the Big DM at 12 noon and I mix live on my Facebook and on the Instagram. And so I'll be like, yo, I'm hungry. Where are we gonna go for lunch, y'all? Where are we gonna go for lunch? Because if I don't go somewhere, if my wife has a business meeting, I'll go take her to lunch.
Right.
If she don't have a business meeting, so most of the day, as soon as I get off the air, I go take my wife to lunch. But if I'm doing something myself, I say, all right, y'all, where should I go to lunch? And who has lunch at 1:00? Let's meet up. I'll go meet some of the fans. We sitting in it. Next thing you know, we talking for 3 and 4 hours.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, those people over the years, I done wedding receptions for one family since 1994.
Right.
The girl got married. Well, a girl got married in 94.
Yeah.
The little girl that was her flower girl got married 10 years later. And I did her wedding reception.
Yeah.
That's the early 2000s. Here comes 2017, and I did another family member. And then I did more that was there. So you connect with people, use the social media for what it's for. Promote yourself, connect with people, but only sell you.
Right.
Like you were saying, sell you. Yeah. Don't sell them your problems.
Right.
I mean, you may talk, if you do talk about anything like your loved one passed away.
Right.
See, being personal to a certain level is understandable.
Right. It's okay. It's okay.
But you don't be that
I got a perfect example of what you're saying. I had 2 different situations. Well, more than 2, but I had one situation where people had a chance to see me have a breakdown over separation, getting a divorce, right?
Right.
That one was inappropriate because I was saying a lot of things I shouldn't have been saying. I had another situation where my oldest son passed away. You know what I'm saying? That one was different. You know what I'm saying? Like people could rock with me on that one. Like they were more, they didn't have a problem with me lashing out or saying anything. Like nothing sounded crazy because they understood this is like
pain.
They understand the pain. But when the situation with my ex was happening, it was different because they was kind of like, man, he's telling too much, he's saying too much, he's doing too much. Like, you know what I mean? They didn't like that kind of go back to what we were saying. They become almost like friends to you, but they're still fans. They're still strangers, and it's gonna be some stuff that they're not gonna get with. You know what I'm saying? Just based off the part that that fan element is still there. Even though they've been rocking with you and they like it when you clown around and they like to see you cuss people out every now and then. But it's certain things that you can say they can turn them off because they still they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? They only know the social media you.
Right. So that's the summation of it, man. So to artists and to people, I say, look, okay, know what you're getting into. If you're an artist today, your responsibility is to connect with the people that you want. You get to decide. You get to pull your fans.
Right.
But you use all that. The digital streets, social media and stream and SoundCloud and all this other stuff, and all the streaming stuff. The physical streets is if you're still doing flyers, that means you're doing shows.
Right.
So I would not press up CDs, but I would still do flyers, and give them out of shows. But here's where you get smart. If you're performing, you need to be selling merch, T-shirts, hats, bandanas, sweatbands. Yeah. You can sell a backpack. You can sell Tessellini backpacks and have a care package in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and your fans know what the care package consists of. Yeah. Yeah, they know. And so people know if they get a Prince Ice prize pack.
Right.
Because what I used to do, it changed in the 90s. From the 90s when I did Ice Cold Radio, you want a Prince Ice prize pack. I gave away the latest CD that was out, maybe Jaheim, maybe Naughty by Nature. And then I gave away my mixtape, and I had Prince Ice T-shirts. Remember the crown, the big old crown picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward to the 2000s. It was still some CDs, you know what I'm saying? Some tickets to a show. And then you start saying, all right, follow me on MySpace.
Right.
Now, what I would do is still give away T-shirts and stuff. Right. Or if I'm performing as an artist, think about it. Jay-Z's 444 tour. He sold tapes. Yeah. And he gave out these cards that had links for people that didn't, not tapes. He sold shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got this card and you went and downloaded the album either for free or whatever. Think about it like this. And this is the last thing I touched. You remember when Apple and Samsung were going hard at each other?
Yeah, I remember.
J&B, Prince, J&B are the three artists that outsmarted the whole world. They used these products to sell their albums.
Yeah. Jay-Z
went with did he go with Apple and B went with Samsung or vice versa? With the Android.
I think B went. I thought B went to Android. Was it
B went with the Android.
Yeah.
It was either
Jay went to Apple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Jay went to Apple.
You got the Apple 5 when they came out with all the multicolors. When Apple finally started coming with the big phones, because they originally had them, but when Steve Jobs, this is what people don't know, Steve Jobs died, and that's why Apple won that $1 billion lawsuit against Samsung for the Androids, because they stole the blueprint to the phone. Everybody should know.
Oh, they won that.
They won the battle, but they lost the war. Because by the time, if I gotta pay you $1 billion and I'd have made $200 billion, that's like I owe you $10.
$1
but I made $100.
Yeah.
And so what did they do? They dropped off $1 billion worth of pennies at the Apple Store. But here's the hustle. They sold so many phones, and with each phone came their album. Prince did something like that with his concert, with this the musicology before CDs played.
Yeah.
He saw 9 million or between 9 and 50 million people that year.
Yeah.
And everybody that bought a ticket, the price of the CD was included in that show.
Yeah. And you know what? Those three people, I just thought about something else too. They were super smart, because after they did that, that's when they started Tidal.
Yes. You know? And notice, Prince music was only on Tidal.
Yep. Jay got all his stuff. Yep. That's exactly right.
Well, so that's it, man. Artists, just go. Make yourself as big as you can on your own terms. Connect with the people through all the social media, through all the YouTubes and videos, and use your social media for what it is. Talk to people on the regular, and let them know that their input did count. So that's why, like, people are mixing live. Hey, Ice, yo, can you mix in so and so? And you'll say, yo, Ice, play some Lost Boys. Right there it is.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it where it fits. So you build that, and then you keep that along. You'll constantly keep growing, regardless of where the world goes.
Right.
You're just, and this is the final thing. Well, okay, you know what? Because I don't want to keep making this too long.
Yeah.
But there was something that I was both interviewed by somebody, and they said it, and I had to correct them about. And it's a mentality that I've seen come in with a lot of people these days. They think they're owed something. You're not owed anything. You got to earn everything. And here's the main thing I want to address. Nobody has to sit down, has to quit their job for you to get your break.
Right.
You don't have to stop. I don't have to stop DJing so a DJ get a chance.
Right.
Negro, if you ain't hustling, you ain't eating.
Right.
My hustle don't stop your hustle.
Right.
So if I've been eating in radio for 33 years, what that got to do with you?
Exactly.
So I'm supposed to let my family starve? So nah, that's not how it goes.
I want you to slide
Everybody makes their no, because one person interviewed me and they said, yo, so now we know that because I'm not in the clubs that much now, because guess what I'm doing now? I mean, for at least 7 to 10 years, I was DJing the Carnival and Royal Caribbean cruises.
Right.
And now it's like, bro, I do a lot of corporate events, and I still do some parties. And I get, when you get a contract booking,
so
let's say like somebody wanted you to DJ in November. You've been booked since last November.
Right.
But you got paid last November.
Yeah, so that's an obligation.
Yeah. So with that contract, that one gig, somebody else got to work a whole month just for the one gig you already paid for that you hadn't even done yet.
Right.
So, am I missing anything?
No.
No.
You move to a different level of the game, and that's what. Yeah, that's what comes with the longevity and doing good business.
So everybody has to build their level. You go from playing the game to coaching the game to owning your game.
Yeah.
Owning.
Yeah.
The key is you got to own you, your product, your life.
Right.
You decide if you're a success or failure. No one is holding you back but you. If you get signed to a record label, the hardest working person got to be you.
Yeah.
Regardless of everything. The person that should want it more than anybody is you. You can give me your record as an artist, but you got to believe in it more than I do. You got to put the work behind it more than I do. It's not my job to blow your record up. It's your job to blow your record up.
Right.
It's my job to help you, but it's not my job to make your record blow up.
And that's true, man, because people, you'll help somebody, and it's crazy because the artists will start to feel like you're supposed to push 100%. And it's like, no, I'm just assisting you in the push. Like I ain't, I had a couple of artists when they wanted me to manage them, and I told them, I said, listen, the only way I can manage you is if you continue to manage yourself. You know what I'm saying? I said, because I can't do
that part.
Yeah, I can't do everything for you. I said, whatever you was doing that made me pay you some attention, I said, keep doing that. Because if you start putting it in my lap, it might not work the way you want it to work because I have other things going on.
Right.
I'm not purposely neglecting you, but I got too many things going on. And the reason why I agreed to manage you in the first place was because you seem like you could kind of hold your own, and all I got to do is, put the right things in place and put you in the right positions, and you got it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
People don't get it. That's why DJ Khaled is DJ Khaled.
Right.
And this person is this person, because Khaled did what all of us DJs did. And any DJ that you know is popular.
Yeah.
I remember Khaled making mixtapes and doing parties in Florida, and him and my man DJ Nasty over at EDR in Miami, you know, and I'm going down there to DJ because Luke invited us to this party. And see, I'm telling you, people don't even know this stuff, but I don't ever talk about it because when you're living it, you ain't got to
talk about it.
Yeah. You don't have to brag about who you are. And this is the best part. If you are the man, you are not the one that should be saying it. The people should be saying it.
Right.
So if you're that dude, the people that are on top are too busy doing the work that got them there. That's why they stay there.
Yeah.
They're not walking around with their chest poked out. Even if they are, like you said, you could be cocky every now and then but you're still humble and focused.
Right. Yeah. I still know, like, you gotta have, it's a difference between entertainment cocky and real cocky. Like, sometimes, like, when I'm cocky, a lot of the times it's just me playing into what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like, you know, it's almost like the difference between StrongArm and Tessalini. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You got one of them that's going to be this way, or StrongArm and Black Hugh Hef. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be two different things. Like, one day you're going to get super cocky. The other day, like you said, I may still be kind of arrogant, but I may be really humble. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on which individual on the entertainment level that you run into. But if you're talking to me as a regular person, I'm always going to be super humble, super appreciative. But when you catch me in Tessalini mode, you know, I might be, man, I'm that guy. Like, you need to know. Like, you better understand.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
So, I tell everybody, like one of my mentors and one of my managers told me, he said, look, when y'all hit that stage, y'all are the best. You opening up for LL, but you bigger than him. You bigger than him when you hit the stage. Now, when you get off that stage, you dap him up, say, man, look, I can't wait to see you rock your show. And then next thing you know, LL's like, yo, y'all killed it. Are you on the next show with us? I'm like, I don't know. Well, I'm going to make sure you on the next show. Then look what happened. Boom, you on the next show. So that's it. When it's time for you to grab, you know, in hip hop, grab your nuts and you check. I'm that dude. You that dude when you're doing what you do. You're that girl when you're doing what you do. When that mic is off, when you off that stage, you are humble. You are connecting with the people. You about, because see, that can make or break your success and your business. And that's it. Be about the business, but be the best version of you while you live through everything that changes. You don't have to compromise or change who you are. You just have to keep swimming. The tide changes, but the swimmer learns how to go with the coast, with the flow of the water. Yeah.
That's a great way to end it. That's a beautiful way to end it.
So start learning how to swim.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Yeah. A lot of us can't.
Learn how to swim.
You know what I'm saying? But man, I appreciate you for allowing me this interview, man. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for you. I've looked up to you for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You know, way before I was in entertainment. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you for allowing this. And this is the kind of thing that helps me understand that I'm moving in the right direction. And I'm truly humbled to be able to interview you. Like, I really am. I am cocky and very arrogant at times, but but I'm truly, the great StrongArm is humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, this is an honor. Like, I don't know how other people feel, but for me, it's an honor. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, man. And thank you, Mr. DJ Prince Ice. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Let the people know before you go. You know, anything you want to tell them, man, you know, how to find you in other places, you know, for those who may not know.
Okay. The honor is mine. All my life I had to fight and say it, but and that's my jewels. Remain humble, remain you, and remain a people person. And you can find DJ Prince Ice on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I don't have a TikTok because that ain't for me. That's for my grandkids.
I ain't got there yet either.
I'm
watching everybody, but I ain't quite got there.
Yeah, and especially since they said China's tapping your other information. No, they can have TikTok. They can have that. Yeah, but the mixtape that I got worldwide right now, it's called Hands in the Air. It's on all the streaming information. And so with the recommendations from Khaled, Flex, Clue, and a bunch of Greg Street and all these other people, that's why I did It Feel So Good years ago, at the same time that all these people were starting doing a mixtape. Like Flex had a 90 minutes, 60 minutes of funk. Right. So, so that's why I did it. So that's why I'm going to keep making compilations featuring artists.
Yeah.
Who's going to do it out here for South Carolina? That's why I do it. And so when you listen to Hands in the Air, and there's another one I'm working on. So yeah, you and I definitely got some talking to do.
Yeah, we do.
So because I didn't get to round up everybody, but there's so many people.
You know, I got the good ones.
Yeah. I know.
No disrespect to the other ones, but I got some good ones.
Yeah, and that's it. So that's when you realize your place, your role in the game.
Yeah.
Play it.
Yeah.
Or if you have more than one role, play those roles, and keep pushing yourself to the people how you really are, and then stay with you. And then, so that's what the Hands in the Air mixtape is about. So I'm on everything. I'm every day on the Big DM at 12 noon, and at 5 p.m. mixing old school, and then on Sunday nights at 6 to 7 on Hot 139 for Hip Hop Sunday School with all your favorite throwback hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the old school king now, so.
You're still a king. You're still a king. You know what I'm saying? Well, no matter where the place or what the time, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This was a great interview with none other than your boy StrongArm and the Honorable DJ Prince Ice. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later on. I'm about to hit Ice up and holler at him about something else, but we out, man. Deuces.
We got work to do.
We got work to do. Salute. All right.